Shalom. I like to say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kal Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, or the true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to my Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who are risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai, and the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as we are the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. This is Irede Akale from the GMS Jamaica Kingston camp, and this video is about the prophecy spoken about in Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16, which says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." And that mark is a physical mark. It is known as the charagmo, okay, which is a stamp and imprinted mark, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So the mark of the beast prophecy has to do with buying and selling. Okay, so in regards to the prophecy when it talks about the right hand, that more directly has to do with the buying and selling. Okay, for example, over there in Sweden, you have people who are microchipped, okay, and of course the MOTB is a microchip, who are literally using it to make purchases at vending machines, to purchase tickets, etc. And you have other places around the world, people around the world that are doing the same thing. But the main focus of this video is the forehead part, all right? Because this is also being developed. It's a part of biblical prophecy. Now, we've heard about these brain chips, for example, from Elon Musk, who, you know, has come out talking about his brain chip and what his brain chip will be able to do, and the essentially the miracles that it will be able to accomplish, right? He stated before that it will allow the paraplegics to walk. It will allow people to be able to do things that modern science and technology have not afforded them to be able to do. So these things are deemed as miraculous in this world because a paraplegic who is essentially tied to a wheelchair, for them to be able to walk, that is miraculous in this world, all right, because this world is on a very low level, right? And so of course it's being developed, these brain chips. So we have from RT, brain implant allows paralyzed man to write his thoughts with 94% accuracy. And by the way, I've read other articles where in regards to the brain chips, it will allow people to be able to see that are blind and things like that. All right, you have to do your own research in regards to these things. But to be honest, the information, it's easy to find, but it's hard to find at the same time. All right, you have to know exactly what you're searching for. Okay. All right, so that's quite miraculous, right? The man is paralyzed, and the brain implant, the chip implant in his head, allows him to transfer his thoughts into words on a computer screen. And for this world, that is something that's quite miraculous, to be honest, but the prophecy speaks about this. Okay, in the book of Revelation, chapter 19 and verse 20, it says, "And the beast was taken out." The beast, okay, is referring to Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right. The beast essentially encompasses his entire system. Okay. Now, in other parts within the scriptures, okay, we'll talk about the beast, which the beast is known as NATO and the EU. The 10 horns, which are the EU, and then the beast would be the NATO, which they merge together. It's one, all right? And America rides the beast, which is the whore, okay? And they're all encompass together as one unit, and they push forward their ways. All right, so that's why we can broad brush it as the system. Okay, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles, which is the Roman Catholic Church. All right, because that is one of the ways that they have deceived the people of this world. Okay, that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark. So the people, when they take it, they're going to be deceived by the miracles that are going to come by this technology, this mark chip technology. Them that had received the mark of the beast and them that worshipped his image, these both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. Okay, so that's the judgment for our people who take that MOTB. Okay, but it says the miracles, and these things that they're pushing with their brain mac chip are miracles, man. All right, but you know, overall, when we see how this thing is being developed, it's going even further than that. Facebook recently pushed out this metaverse thing, and I want to bring out this these videos from apparently this television show called Years and Years. Okay, before I play the video, of course, no copyright intended. This is just for educational purposes, etc., etc. Okay, this person has had this video up since 2019, and boom. So it says Bethany explains to Stephen and Celeste about the operation. Now, when you go to YouTube and you search this Bethany person, right? It basically shows that she's become transhuman. She's a part of the transhumanism thing. All right, even in this scene right here.
I just want you to know. I love you, Mommy and Daddy.
So she's all about merging with the technology. And even when you look at this image right here.
I'm going to ask you to take the filter off. Will you do that for me?
You see that? This is what they're pushing with their metaverse thing. All right, because essentially what I'm observing with this metaverse thing is that, you know, the world is going to be looked at differently because they're going to have that mark chip, man. Those brain implants, which will be able to essentially facilitate an image or a reality that doesn't actually exist, but it's going to exist in your mind because it's able to do that. It will make you see in that kind of way. Okay, so going back to this Bethany person, let's look at this scene.
You're okay. You're okay. I really am. I'm fine. Honestly, I swear I'm fine. There. You can let that breathe for 10 minutes. All looking good. I'll come back and I'll dress them. Do you see? These are interaction nodes. If I use this finger, I can open all the doors at work, no ID. And if I just scan this in a shop, I can pay for anything up to £1,000. And look, Dad, Mom, I've just taken your photo.
So you see, they showed you the prophecy right here. They showed you the hand, and now they're showing you the forehead.
Send and send. It doesn't need the sound effect. I just added that because it makes me laugh. You promised me they wouldn't touch your eyes. Not after last time. That was years ago. Grand's had stem cells in her eyes since then.
Yeah, I can't help thinking, don't laugh. All these power cuts. Well, what would happen to you?
Nothing. What happens to you in a power cut? Nothing. So, what about your head?
You see, so they're letting you know as well that this technology isn't run on like the current. You know, it appears to just, whatever the technology is, it just runs on its own. So I don't know what it runs on. It could be something to do with the body or whatever else, but it's letting you know all of these things, man.
They inserted the tiniest wafer into my brain.
See? Tiniest wafer into the brain.
Synced us up. No keyboard. I don't need a keyboard ever again. You did that by thinking. It can't read my mind. Not yet, but the wafer tracks activity in the neural pathway and micro movements in the retina to predict what I'm thinking.
But that is reading your mind.
Let's see where everyone is. There's Aunt Rosie. She's at home. Lincoln's in school. Lee's not in school. Should be. Where is he? In the park. Don't tell Rosie. Gran's at home in the kitchen. What a surprise. Let's find Ruby. She's in a bar called the
And it's able to track everyone, everywhere,
£56.
all the time.
It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
56 quid to the house white.
Oh my god, how did it go, Beth? How are you? Did it work? Are you completely synced up now?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm with Mum and Dad. And I've just realised you're in trouble.
You should be in college.
56 quid.
For God's sake, Bethany!
That's amazing. A little bit like spying. What if I didn't want you tracking me?
Well, that's a good question. Can you imagine? What if your father was having an affair or something?
Okay.
You're in my contacts. That's permission according to the law.
But I still don't understand. You can run software like this on a keyboard. So why do you need the operation?
I'm trying to explain it in ways you can understand, but the connection is so much more. While we were talking, at exactly the same time, I wondered about the 80 Days of Rain, where it came from, why it was, what comes next. And I keyed into satellites just 30 seconds ago, so I can see the course of El Nino, and I can tap into pressure sensors along the Atlantic coast and barometric readings from the ships at sea. If I put all of that together, I'm there. I'm inside it, the tide, the depth of the sea, and the curl of the waves within me. And right now in Charles Street, Pasadena, 15-year-old girl called Effany Cross has written her first song and put it online.
So you can see, man, the prophecy is speaking. These are the miracles that Esau Edom wants to bring to the people of this world to convince them to take it. And that's what it says, deceive them. These people are going to be deceived, man, because these people don't have any faith in Yahweh Shemishai. So when it is that they see the technology moving in this kind of way and they're able to do all these kinds of things, they're going to be like, wow. You know, because this narrative has been sold to us since birth that, you know, this technological future and this you know, the images, man, the space age future or whatever else, man. This is the way that it's going to be. And so when people see it starting to happen, they're going to take onto it and they're going to be deceived. All right. And these are the times that we're in, man. Okay, as you can see from the RT video, it's developed to a certain level. And mind you, anything that we see right now, you better believe it, man, that the technology is far more advanced and developed, but they're just not showing it. That's how it's always been. But Esau Edom as well, in their media, in their movies and everything else, man, they show people what their intentions are. That is them being self-proclaimed prophets. And the goal overall for them with this entire thing is because they want to be like the Most High. Okay? 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So our falling away came, okay, and the man of seal has been revealed, the son of perdition, who are the Edomites, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, shewing himself that he is God. And when he integrates the people into this system, that is what he'll be doing. He'll be able to track you, just as the Most High, he'll be able to control you, just as the Most High, he wants to create his own utopia, which is really a dystopia on earth, because this is a carnal man, and he's going to be doing it by carnal means. And this MOTB, which is a microchip, is that carnal means that he is intended to achieve himself to be like the Most High. But at the end of the day, we know it's going to fail, because the prophecy before says that the destruction is coming. But anyway, that's it. With that, I'd like to say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai Shemaka Kodesh Wa Abad Babal Shalom.